Hi everyone, welcome. So this is going to be about creating accessible PDFs. It is a brief guide for faculty. So the idea here is that you might already have a PDF available to you, but it is not accessible. So we are going to walk through that within this. Many PDFs, especially scanned documents, are not accessible because they are essentially just a scanned image. So this means that screen readers can't read the text and students can't search or interact with the content. They can't annotate, they can't highlight, they can't make their own notes on the document itself. So in this video, I am going to show you how to use a simple tool called DocDrop OCR to convert an image-based PDF into a machine-readable document, which is the first step towards accessibility. So 90% of students rely on digital materials, whether this is through their cell phone or through a computer or maybe even a tablet. So we really need those to be accessible, the documents that we are putting up. OCR stands for Optical Character Recognition, and what it does is it converts images of text, so a picture of text or a picture of a book, to real selectable text, making the PDF searchable, screen reader compatible, and of course editable. So OCR is going to create the text layer that accessibility really depends on, but it isn't going to fully fix accessibility on its own. We're going to get to that in a minute. Okay, so 100% of your course documents that you load into your LMS, whether it is Canvas, Blackboard, Brightspace, or whatever it might be, in our instance, it is Canvas. They need to be accessible. It supports mobile learners and students with undiagnosed needs. So we can't just look at those who have diagnosed needs and who have submitted an accommodation letter. We have to try to reach everybody. If you cannot select text in a PDF, it is most likely then image-based and needs the OCR. So that is a really quick way to check if your document is accessible. Okay, so there's 3 quick steps that you can do to ensure accessibility within Canvas. This is going to help before we get to the OCR part of it. So you can't highlight text. Your copy and paste, if you were to try to copy and paste a PDF that is not OCR ready, is going to just produce gibberish. A screen reader can't read it. So OCR makes the text readable, but it doesn't fix headings or reading order. It doesn't add alternate text. It doesn't create tags. So those are other things that you need to ensure you do for accessibility. So you want to use proper tags and headings. You want to add any alternate text for any images because the screen reader will read the alt text to describe the image. So if it is something that is decorative, you want to make sure you are marking it as decorative. Okay, and that is another video we can go into. So true accessibility requires tagging and structure and accessibility checks after the OCR. OCR creates that foundation, but accessibility depends on structure and organization so those assistive technologies can interpret the document correctly. And through creating accessible PDFs, we then are removing those barriers to learning and we're helping to foster an inclusive academic environment for all of our students. Okay, so we're going to now take a look at the resource, OCR DocDrop. So it is a quick and effective first step in remediating inaccessible PDFs. Like I said before, by ensuring our documents have readable text, we're removing a huge barrier for our students who may or may not rely on assistive technologies. So we're going to try one in real time. So the first thing you're going to do to go to DocDrop.org, you're going to type that into the search bar. Then you're going to click on the little window and choose your PDF. Okay, so it says, oh, you need to go to this site. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to click on that. And now we're brought to this page where we're going to re-upload that PDF. Okay, we're going to let it wait for a minute. And then while we're doing this, we're actually going to go ahead and I am going to pull up the PDF so that you can see that it is inaccessible. So bear with me as I pull that up. Okay, so here it is, and I can't, as you can see, I can't mark anything. I was clicking. You can't do anything. I'm going to draw on it. So you can see that I can highlight on this, and then I can go ahead and erase it, but I can't make any comments. So this is completely inaccessible. So we're going to go back to our OCR doc drop. We're going to hit download. It was already downloaded because I did this beforehand, so we didn't have to sit and watch. And now I'm going to try to select the text in which I can, and now I can highlight and I can add a comment. So we're going to highlight it in green, and then I'm going to try to add a comment to it. Okay, and now your document is completely accessible. So this is going to be able to be read by a screen reader or somebody that needs that kind of electronic help, or if they want to annotate the PDF, they are now able to do so with this accessible document.